Oh, the blessings of the tropics. Namaste.
If you've got the feet on a towel or a blanket, that just might give you something to really press the feet in and help you get more into the shins. If you need that, you can do that. And then we're going to do a couple of cat and dog tilts. So rounding the spine, cat tilt. And inhale and dog. And rounding and cat. Inhale, dog. Rounding cat. Inhale, dog. And then we're going to do a variation. So bring the spine to neutral. I'm going to take my right ankle and cross it in front of the foot. Now you may need to bring the knee more forward if it's too tight, but anyway, wherever it works for you. And if you need softness under the knees, you can put a blanket. So here we're going to again round in the cat. Inhale, dog. Because what's happening is you're pressing the thigh into that ankle, so you get a bit of outer thigh stretch here. Rounding in the cat. Inhale, dog. Rounding in the cat. Inhale, dog. And then see if you can tuck the back leg up. And then what you can do is you can start to walk that foot back and get more of a stretch here. So only go to where it feels okay for you at this moment. And then again, you can do a little bit of inhaling in the cat. It won't be as significant. And inhale to dog. Just keep your abdominals engaged here. Inhale to cat. Exhale, dog tilt. Inhale, cat. Exhale, dog. And then bring that knee back in and lift that knee up and bring it down, and we'll do the other side. So bringing the opposite ankle in front of the knee, and again, wherever you can open up the leg, just do what works for you. And rounding the spine, inhale the cat. I guess it's exhale the cat, inhale the dog. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then tuck that toe under, and then just start to walk that foot back, just for whatever stretch works for you, just as far as you can go. And then you can do a little bit of rounding in the cat, into dog, so it's not going to be quite as much movement. Inhale, cat. Inhale, dog. And then come back into all fours and bring the hands a little more forward, and we'll go into a downward facing dog. A couple of breaths here. And then again, if you're okay to bring that ankle to the lower thigh, you can bring it there, trying to make sure that the hips are still level. If you want a further challenge, you can come into plank this way and then back to downward dog, or you can just stay there and then bring that foot back into downward dog, and then lift the left leg up downward dog if that works for you, or just stay in downward dog. Plank. Exhale, dog. Downward dog. And then bringing that foot down. Just walk the feet and the hands towards each other. And then slowly rolling up the spine. And then standing into a wide-legged Tadasana. We're going to do a couple of variations with Utkatasana powerful pose, but we'll start with the feet in Tadasana. We'll inhale the arms up in Urdhva Hastasana and go into powerful pose. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. So if the variation's too much for you, you can always come back and do this way. We'll do another round of that. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the arms in Utkatasana. Inhale up. Exhale down. So then you're going to take the leg, and if you can cross that ankle down towards the knee, you can inhale up and then go into Utkatasana. So you may not have a great range of movement, or maybe you have issues with the balance. And then you can inhale up, exhale the arms down. See if you can stay here in between. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. And then bring that foot down. We'll just do two normal ones in between. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Utkatasana. Inhale up. Exhale down. Another one. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And bring the other leg up. So it's just, so you still have a little bit of flexion in the foot because you're trying to keep length in both the inner ankle and the outer ankle so that you don't sickle the foot, because if you sickle the foot, then it gets you into a habit which might impact your walking. So now inhale the arms up, exhale down, inhale up, and then exhale down again, inhale up, and bringing that foot down. Couple of breaths there. We'll go into the regular one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale into Utkatasana. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale into Utkatasana. Inhale up. Exhale. So now we're going to practice a few variations with tree with how we go into this. So we can start with the foot down and come into this version of tree pose. Bringing the arms overhead if you're feeling okay with the balance. It's a little bit different, so you might feel funny in your balance here. And then exhale the arms down, bring the foot down. We'll go to the other side. Bring that foot up and you just cross it again over. Inhale the arms up. If you're feeling okay, I should have brought you through hands in prayer first. And then overhead. Exhale down. And bring the foot down. And then we're going to try this to see if you can bring the foot just a little higher. So you might need to hold the foot. So if you can only go here, that's fine. If you can bring it all the way up into the other side, then you up into the thigh socket here, you can hold it here. So we're just going to stay here if you can hold it. If you need it lower, bring it lower and just hold it with the opposite hand. But if you could, and the other option, so I've given you lots of options, is just bring the knee up when you bring that foot into the thigh socket. So that way, you still may have balance, but maybe you can't bring that knee down yet. So those are your options. Face that side. And then again, the options are having the foot a little bit lower, or you can just bring it up and having the knee up, holding that foot, or if you want to try to open, hold the foot. And most of us don't have that 180-degree turnout. So my knees aren't going to parallel to each other. And then bringing that foot down, just stand for a few minutes in Tadasana. And then we're just going to do a little standing sequence with the idea that any work we do through the pelvis is also going to help the thighs, the outer thighs, and the hips as well. So just bring the feet out wide, and we're going to do a little bit of a sequence here. So I'm going to do mirror image. So you're going to turn the right foot to this side, and then you're going to pivot the toes to heel and the back leg. So we're going to start by bringing the arms up and then really coming into triangle, but not placing the hands on anything. You're just wanting to feel how the legs really support you here. And then just notice what's happening with the legs and the thigh. And then you're going to inhale, lift the arm that was down up for more stretch through the side body here. And then as you come down, you're going to go into Warrior Two for a couple of breaths. Feel the power in the legs, and maybe actually you feel you can get into this pose more because we've done a little bit of thigh stretching, hip opening. Now stay with the legs this way, and again drop the back arm, lift the front arm, and then bring it down into Parsvakonasana. And then inhale, slowly come up, bring the arms down, bring the feet parallel. Just have a couple of breaths here. Now you know the sequence into the other side. So you'll pivot your left foot, so heel comes, toes come up, and then press down, foot. Then you take the back foot and you pivot onto the toes and slightly diagonal with the hip, heel back. And then inhale those arms up, and then you can open the palms front and come into triangle pose without really using those legs, without placing the hands on the legs today, just for a variation practice. Then inhale, lift that bottom arm up, and then exhale, bring the arms into Warrior Two and the legs into Warrior Two pose. A couple of breaths here. And again, lift the arm. Same arm again. And come into Parsvakonasana. Of course, remember you can always make variations with your arms as you need to. You can keep this arm down if you're having shoulder problems. And then inhale, coming up, feet parallel, and then you can slowly inch them in. We're going to sit first, an easy cross leg. I have my right shin in front of my left, but you can have the opposite if that feels better. And then you're going to take that leg up. Now, if you can, hold the hands in front of you or hold the wrists, you can just do a bit of rocking the baby here. If it's easier just to bring the arms this way, you can do that if you need to have the knee down. So or you can just hold on to the foot and support like the shin here, or the outer knee and the shin, and just stay here. So we'll start with rocking the baby in whichever position you've chosen. And then just bring it to where it's going to go today. Notice where you feel the stretch. Is it the outer hip? I don't want you to feel it in the knee, so that would mean that you perhaps need to flex the foot more or bring the knee down. And then release that side and bring the knees up. Change crossover. And then bring the other side up. And again, you can hold the arms like this. You can hold the arms like this. Or you can wrap them and bring it up. So wherever your knee needs to be in this pose, it can be lower. And then we'll start with rocking the baby. And then we'll just come in and hold for a few breaths. And then we'll release that back. And then bring the legs down. So we're going to start if you can bring the feet together. Now, here the knees are quite, far, or the feet are quite far from inside. But then you're going to slowly see if you can start to bring those heels in. And if you can only stay here for the moment, you can hold on to the shins here. See if you can really engage from the knees into the outer thighs. And of course, you do need some engagement in your abdominals to hold this. So we'll hold this a few breaths wherever you start to notice something in your body. And then we're going, if you can, gradually start to bring the heels in. Your knees may float up. If you need supports, you can take rolled towels, pillows, blocks. Like this is really nice for me, but you may not have that. This is when I like to hold the front of my feet. So I cup my hands under my toes here and really lift. Engage those thighs. I'm just going to take the support away, even though you may want some support there. All you have to do is roll a couple of bath towels and just place them under your thigh, or they can come further out. Just going to hold it for a few breaths. This is also something that you can practice sitting up against a wall. So if you were leaning against the wall, you'd have the wall supporting you in the back. Oh, I could probably just have the chair, but anyway, so you don't want to be collapsing the back, rounding the back, or arching the back here. Although, since we did cat and dog earlier, we might as well do that. Let's just do that so we feel what the spine feels like here. So you round into cat, and then you come into dog with the spine, and round into cat. You come into dog, And then you try to find that more neutral spine with the lift in the abdominals. And then if you want to come a little bit forward, you can begin to come forward. I'm not going to go very far because I haven't been really working on this pose in a while. But once you bring your elbows into your calves or your thighs, you can start to press that down as well. So you don't want to be doing the cat and dog here. You want to try to bring that thoracic spine in, look forward. And then inhale, slowly come up. And then go back down to the first position that wasn't recorded. Go back down and lay down and just notice your legs when you put your hands on your, those little bony bits of the pelvis, and just drop one leg out. Bring it in. Drop the other knee out. Bring it in. And then just use a little bit of action in the muscles, like the knee towards the outer thigh as you open. Bring that in. And then bring the other leg out with a little bit of action. Bring it in. And then see what happens if you put the feet together here and bring it towards the groin. And then since you're already here, or if you have something you want to elevate your legs on, you can put your feet up on a chair, or you can just slide them out into Shavasana. Or if it's just easier to keep the knees bent, feet on the floor, then just stay here for Shavasana. So whatever works for you. And then however you have settled into the pose, just notice your breath. And see if you can feel your breath into those thigh sockets. Because we not only breathe into our lungs, we breathe into our torso. And breathing into our torso brings us into our armpits and our thigh sockets that really enable us to move the legs and the arms, to allow them to move with the breath and be supported by the breath. And then see if you can imagine your pelvis like a bowl, so that the outer edges are softening, the rim softens, and the content softens. See if you can soften the front of the rib cage, the sides of the rib cage, backs of the rib cage. Perhaps you can feel the ribs wrap around your sides to the front, and then softening in the front.
your shoulder girdle. See if you can feel the upper chest is softening. The collarbones soften out to the tips of the shoulders. And then the shoulder blades soften, widen, smooth out towards the pelvis. Collarbone notches soften, the throat soften. Back of the neck softens and lengthens. Base of the head is softening. Your scalp softens. Your forehead widens and softens. Your temples are soft. Space between the eyebrows are softening. Your eyeballs rest into your eye socket. Your cheeks are softening. Your jaw softens. Your chin is softening and your tongue rests into the lower palate. And perhaps later today you take a little bit of a walk so you can notice if there's anything different or shifted in your pelvis or in your thigh sockets as you walk. In your legs, wherever you might have felt that today. And then slowly begin to reawaken the body, stretching through the fingers and toes, rolling to your right side. Slowly come up to sitting. So have a beautiful day and namaste.